Good day, YouTube, and welcome to Bishop's Blast. I'm your host, go by the name of Dr. Meebane, where we dive into what I consider a sanitized version of a YouTube channel where we talk about all things firearms related. Now, I'm not a subject matter expert by any stretch of the imagination, just an old retired Navy guy who loves God and has quite the affinity for all things that go. This time I need you to do me a real quick favor. If you don't mind, tap that subscribe button. And for those that have done so, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to chronicle my 2A journey. I believe we're being able to have a blast together. Now, I'm going to also ask you to, once again, hit that like button, share this with someone so that we can get this information as far and wide as possible. And I am elated to have this opportunity to share all of this with you. So I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition to Bishop's Blast. Come on, let's get it in. I want to be able to have a conversation with you, just a real quick conversation with you on a topic that's I titled Transitional Spaces. Transitional Spaces. Matter of fact, pretty much beware. Sort of like an alert, if you will, concerning how you govern yourself in transitional spaces. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that, but you know I've got to do my EDC check, and my EDC for today is the FN 509. See, this is the FN 509. See, it is clear in safe direction and shoot. This is the FN 509C, and I'm rocking it in my WD tactical holster, appendix style, as always. I'll talk to you about that a little bit more as we go into transitional spaces. Transitional spaces are those spaces where you have to have a little bit more of a sense of alertness when you're out and about, basically. So transitional spaces is going from one safe space to another safe space, and that in between time, in that that empty area, you could call transitional spaces. It's very important that we operate with a higher sense of alert during this time, because it's more of a probability we can become a target during this quick movement from one area or to the other. A real quick example of a transitional space: when you go into an ATM and you get out of the car and you're going in, and now you're piping in your PIN number. All of a sudden, you don't have the same level of alertness that you do, because you're concentrating on the transaction that you're making. That's a transitional space. And for some of those, the old banking style where you're actually in a booth, I've watched enough videos of where assailants will come in and try to attack someone specifically in that space, because you're more vulnerable in that point in time. Another transitional space could be actually while you're sitting in your vehicle. You're actually in an area that you're not familiar with. You're at a stop sign. You're at a stoplight. You just pulled over and you said, I'm just going to take me a quick bite to eat. While you're in that vehicle, even though you might feel comfortable, you might feel safe, that's still yet a transitional space that you need to have more of a heightened sense of awareness. Let me give you one more. Perhaps maybe you're on your way to work and you work in an office building, and your office building happens to have an elevator. An elevator can also be a transitional space where you have to have, once again, more of a heightened sense of awareness when you're dealing with who comes in before that door closes. What are they doing? What is their mindset? What are they after? Could just be a patron just like you. Could be just a coworker just like you. However, you don't know this, and sometimes you have to have a heightened sense of awareness in these transitional spaces, going from one place to another safe space. And the one thing about it is we really have to be mindful of what we're going to do also to take care of ourselves. Now, for some of us, from home defense to duty or other areas, we might prefer maybe a larger firearm. Maybe, I mean, it's a pistol, but it's an AR pistol. Real quick, this is clear. Safe direction and shoot. Even with this AR pistol, it's very hard for me to be able to have this in one of those transitional spaces where I can use this to be able to help me deal with a possible assailant. So for the most part, I would probably use mostly in transitional spaces. And I want to talk about this more as far as what we can do. And I want for some of you to put in the comments when you're in these transitional spaces, what do you do when you're sitting in your car? Are you more alert when you're riding an elevator, when you're in a situation where you're going to an ATM, you're at a drive-through, you could be getting ready to get you some food at a drive-through. That's also a transitional space where you are a little bit more vulnerable. Your mindset is on getting what you're just ordered, not necessarily protecting yourself in these situations. And sometimes it's still good to have some kind of mitigating tool on you to be able to help you out. And that's the reason why I am big on pistols, handguns. Just real quick, this is the MMP Shield, something that I probably would have on me while I'm trying to help make sure that I'm okay in these transitional spaces. Because the one thing about it is, and this is what I want your help, because I'm probably going to do a part 2 on transitional spaces where I actually go to my motorcycle and share maybe some of the things that I have on my mind when I'm in these transitional spaces and how I'm going to carry my force mitigating tool, my firearm at that point in time. When I'm sitting in the car, is it in a lockbox? Is it readily available to me? Is it in a biometric safe in my lockbox? Is it in a place where I can really easily get to it, so I'll be able to take care of myself? And I'm going to talk more about that probably in, if you ask for it, a part 2 on transitional spaces. The one thing that I want, as I'm trying to learn, one of the things that I do while I'm in transitional spaces is I maintain and make sure that my firearm is not in one of those spaces, but it's literally on me. Now, once again, I have to be able to legally carry in the areas where I'm in, and if I'm able to legally carry, I can have that firearm on me. And 9 times out of 10 with me, if I'm carrying in a holster, I have it specifically in appendix style carry. And the reason why I do appendix style carry, it is so much faster for me to be able to draw, even sitting in my firearm, than trying to pull from the 3 o'clock or from the 4 or 5 o'clock, or God forbid, trying to take it from the 6 o'clock, not to even mention how uncomfortable that would be. But from appendix style carry, I know some people may not like appendix style carry. Some people think that it depends on your body type and your body size. I've just seen a lot of people in so many different body sizes still be able to effectively carry appendix style. I think it's pretty much on the holster that you're gonna be carrying. But what I do in most case scenarios, I have it appendix style because it is my fastest draw when it comes down to dealing with certain things while I'm in transitional spaces. It makes things a whole lot easier for me. So I want you to kind of share with me as the next time we do this, we're gonna actually go to my motorcycle. We're gonna go to 1 or 2 vehicles, and we're gonna talk about where could we stage a pistol if necessary. Also, before I let you go, I know this is Bishop's Blast. It's firearm heavy, high 2A content. However, I am not someone who thinks that we can't use some kind of tools that may be less lethal. So I don't mind having, this is a little OC spray. and it looks like it's in a nice little container. But if necessary, this OC spray would do the job if I'm just trying to disorient someone so that I can get out of Dodge and make sure that I or loved ones are in a safer space. There's nothing wrong with having some OC spray or taser. Once again, you might want to look at it's a less level of lethality, but you still want to, from a legality perspective, want to make sure it's something that you can do and it's something that you can use. And once again, that you know how to use it. You don't want to be grabbing this and instead of spraying someone else, you spray yourself. So one of these things that you still want to know how to deal with this and how to utilize these things. So I just wanted to take this time out to talk to you real quick about transitional spaces and how we have to have a heightened sense of awareness, even in places where it seems like, hey, it's chill, I'm just sitting in my car, no big deal. Who gonna mess with me? Matter of fact, click, click, we hit power locks. It's locked. Does not stop someone who really wants to get in your car that will still be able to get into your vehicle. So let's just make sure. In the Navy, we had a terminology talking about keeping your head on swivel. Make sure that you're in a position that your soundness of mind, that you understand what's going on, because you don't want to be the one that's caught sleeping when somebody's coming after you. That's my time, and I really wanted to share that with you. And I thank each and every one of you for continuing to rock with me on Bishop's Blast. And I hope that the next time I've got something else a little bit different planned. It's something that I utilize as a training tool or mechanism that I want to share with you. I would have done it this time, but I need somebody else to do it. I do want to thank a special shout out to my daughter, Janine, who does all of my editing and help me out and make sure, lets me know when I'm doing stuff wrong. So special shouts out to her, but I don't necessarily have a cameraman when I'm doing these things, so I have to kind of do these things dolo. But I want to thank each and every one of you nonetheless for still, regardless of my ignorance, still rocking with me. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want you to please, 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 please continue to stay tuned and be blessed.